Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, what's going on, killer?
Hey, nothing much, man. I feel like I was sitting mad low. Let me sit up a little bit. Let me sit up
Hey,
straight.
sit up, chest out, chin up, dog.
Shoot, I'm over here slouching.
It is the
But
month of August, brother.
hey, we are. It is August. I was about to say no, it's not, but it is August.
We're in
But
August, dog.
man, so that means you also know what that means. That means we are heading into the championship shows. If I'm not mistaken, USBF championships already happened. Of
Yeah.
course, there's the Jordan, there's NGA Universe, there's Ben Weeder. There's so many championship shows. So, we
You got
always have
Metro Olympia.
Metro Olympia. What else we got?
You got Mr. America.
Okay.
Uh, there's a lot of them out there. A lot.
Okay. Yeah, and if we said y'all name, then we need that $5 ticket for that promo right there. So just send it to the inbox. We got y'all. But man, so championship series, we are here. We always start the show off saying like, comment, subscribe. I think this episode is very, I'm not gonna say it's very different, but it's kind of
Well,
different.
hold on, man. Hold on. You trying to jump right into it.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Man, for the month of August.
Rewind.
We got some bangers coming to y'all. Obviously, y'all going to see this episode air, and y'all going to see who it is. But then our next 3 episodes are going to be bangers too, because we got people from other organizations coming on to talk to us. They're big time, so don't miss these episodes all of August. All
All
right.
these episodes are big time, big time.
And before we get started, you
Okay.
do a segment at the end of the show called the Top Five. So while me and you are up here, I invented a new segment. It's
Okay.
called Unpopular Opinion. And you don't know
Um,
what I'm going to ask. And the question I ask, I want you to answer it. All
at
right?
the beginning of the show.
These are just things that I see via Instagram or that just pop into my head myself. All right?
So right now,
So, huh?
right now,
Yeah, right now.
you ain't
But
tell me
before
about
we
this.
hop into our
Okay.
episode and bring our guest on, we're going to do this right now. Little 1 minute, 2 minute conversation, brother.
All
All
right,
right,
short and sweet. Let's get
unpopular
it.
opinion. The coaching scene is up. Like the coaches are coming to the forefront of everything. So do you think the coaches are capitalizing more than the athletes these days when it comes to bodybuilding?
It depends on what you mean by capitalize. I think coaches are being more known because I think out of all things, you got to build your brand.
Right.
But I always tell my athletes, and I say this outwardly, is you guys should be the face of Eagle of Strength and not myself. Although it's my initials, although I'm the coach, although I was the first athlete of Eagle of Strength, I always tell my athletes that they should be the people that when people think of Eagle of Strength, they should think of my athletes, not necessarily me. But that's just me personally.
Okay. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So we're going into the episode because I know
Yeah.
you had no opinion. Do you have an unpopular opinion or are we moving into the episode?
You don't want to hear my opinion, but go ahead. Let's move to the episode, brother.
All right. We'll hear his part at the end, and then we might even ask our guests because the one thing is they have a wonderful coach as well. So I would love to hear their opinion about that as well. So we have two, not one, but two competitors. It's dope to have these two competitors on because I think they both have been to the Jordan. I'm almost positive they both been to the Jordan. They're both high caliber competitors. I'll always, speak very proudly and very highly of people, of course, who represent Team North Carolina. And we go down probably about a few miles down the street, and they represent, not Fayetteville, but they represent Greensboro, North Carolina, I think. But let's bring them on. We have bikini competitor Lily, and then we also have wellness competitor Kendall coming up.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Hey,
We're gonna get the energy up. I know we're
how
gonna
are
get it up.
y'all? Hi, happy to be here.
Thank you,
I'm really
Zach.
energetic today.
No, but we are happy to have both of you on. First and foremost, I know we gave you guys both short intros. I would like for you to introduce yourselves, of course. Tell them what division you compete in, and kind of what got you in the bodybuilding.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go first. Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm a bikini competitor. And I been competing for 2 years now. I'm prepping for my third season. I did my first show, OCB Bikini at the OCB Queen City Showdown in Charlotte, where I won my pro card. My first show, which was awesome. It was a really good experience. And then went on to the Jordan Cup 2025 and got third place overall. So that was really fun, and it set the expectations really high for this third season, which I'm preparing for right now. But I'm super excited. I've enjoyed bodybuilding ever since I just started with my coach Gerald, amazing coach. He's the one who actually introduced me to everything. He's the one who approached me about it, said I do well, and he turned out to be right. So I'm very grateful for him for helping me get introduced to the sport.
My turn. I'm Kendall, born and raised in Greensboro. So I recently re-earned my pro card in March of this year. I did compete in the Yorton in, I want to say 2024. But I did let my pro status lapse, so I did have to run it back in March. And now I'm prepping again with hopes of doing the Yorton with a better package this time. But same thing as Lily, we do both work with Draw. He is a great coach. He actually approached me and asked me if I competed before, and I was like, literally, what are you talking about? What do you mean? So I've been bodybuilding for about 3 years now. I've competed in the wellness division since I started. And what got me into bodybuilding, I played soccer my whole life. I played a couple years in college, and then I decided team sports weren't my thing anymore. And so just like wanting to keep up with the lifestyle of discipline, but being able to rely on myself is what really got me into bodybuilding. And
You got it, Jamal, or you want me to go?
I'll go ahead and ask my first question. I will ask Kendall. Kendall, so you competed in the York in 2024. What place did you end up getting?
I placed second in my class and then fourth overall.
Okay, fourth overall, and as you just stated, your pro card lapsed, so you had to do it all over again.
Yeah.
What made you want to do it all over again? And did you have any kind of, I'm not going to say resentment because everything happens for a reason. I don't know the reason your pro card lapsed, but did you have any kind of like nervous feeling going back into the amateur ranks trying to get your pro card again when you was already a pro?
So I knew 100% I was going to do it again regardless, because since I started bodybuilding, I did fall in love with the sport. My intention originally was to do a pro show. I had no idea about my pro card lapsing. But re-entering as an amateur, I did question whether I had a pro physique or if my first show, nobody showed up that day. But I did bring a much better package. The one thing I was nervous about, I don't want to say I felt bad. Like, I already had the opportunity to compete as a pro, and I didn't know how people would view it, like me coming back as an amateur and competing again. But everybody was super cool about it. But I was a lot more confident in the physique that I had brought to the second show where I earned my pro card. So
Do you feel like you took someone else's opportunity by having to go back into the amateur ranks and re-earning your pro card?
I guess in a way I did view it like that, but what other choice did I have?
Right.
I think you go in as an amateur your first show, and if you beat someone, you took their opportunity. So at the end of the day, would I have liked to go straight back into the pros? Yeah. I emailed so many people and I couldn't. So unfortunately, that is how the cookie crumbled.
Okay.
All right, so Lily, I'm coming to you now. So bikini, as we know, is super competitive. What's one thing, and before I get into that, you also placed top 3 at a York. And I also didn't know, Kendall, you placed 4th, which I think I'm going to definitely speak on that later. Like placing top 5 or top 6 at a Yorton is very hard to do for anybody. So major kudos to both of you guys for doing that. But Lily, what's one thing you do in prep? Of course, you have a very high level physique in the OCB as well, or in the OCB. What's one thing that you think most people overlook to really fine tune and bring that bikini look?
That's hard because I still feel very new to the sport, very new to bikini. I think a lot of it was just trusting in my coach. I learned doing any learning on my own as well, figuring out what physique I like for myself as well. And I think a lot my physique fitting in bikini came from goals from within myself, not because I want to fit bikini. It was just how do I want to look on my own without even competing? And I think was working on that for a few years beforehand, before even trying to compete, really helped me fit into this category and do very well in it so far. So I think it's just not like being super focused on fitting a specific thing. Just I think it was working towards what I wanted outside of competing, what I wanted to look as myself outside of competing. And that just translated into bikini and helped me do very well in bikini. So
I guess the follow up to that is you were basically building your dream body, and then you found the category that criteria was closest to your dream body.
basically, yeah. And I was very lucky to be able to find one that fits so well with what I was already working towards, and it just aligned perfectly.
Okay. All right, Lily, I'm gonna ask you a question now. As you and Eric mentioned, you placed top 3 at the Yorton last year. As we know, bikini is wide open this year. Jillian's not coming back. Um, you're placing top 3. Like, did that feed your hunger to come back? And what are you doing differently this year to get ready for the Yorton that you didn't per se do last year with your coach?
Mm-hmm. Of course, placing top 3 obviously motivated me to come back and see what I could do next year. It put a lot of pressure for the next season as well, which is kind of hard, and it's hard to like process it or like figure out, oh, am I even going to do better than I did last time? Because like the first time was so good. How can I even do better? But I think since I got to experience my first pro show, my first Yorin Cup, I'm able to really know what to expect now. I think last time I was really going in kind of blind. I didn't know how many girls I was going up against, who I was going up against, the age difference and stuff. There were not many girls around my age that were competing, so that was a big shock. But this time, I think I'm a little bit more calm. I know what to expect a little more. Feedback from last year was also very helpful, so I'm bringing that in with this package as well. And I think just coming in more confident in my physique and feeling wise, just being more comfortable this year than I did last year.
All right, so I'm coming to you, Kendall. Here we go. So, like I said, if y'all ever see me over here typing, taking notes. So you got 4th in the Yorton. I definitely want to, like I said, highlight that. And we already know that wellness is one of those divisions that's fairly new to the OCB. I think there's been new winners every year. There is rumor that the wellness winner from last year is not doing wellness. So with it being the fastest growing, I think one of the fastest growing, a lot of people compete in it now. And do you think that your soccer background helped with you picking wellness? Because I've seen training clips. You train pretty damn hard. So I have seen training clips. So do you think that comes from your soccer background? Did you lift weights when you were playing soccer? Or was it kind of the same thing as Lily? You like, hey, I want to build this body and then I'm just doing wellness. So what made you decide on wellness over those other categories?
Well, when I first got introduced to the idea of bodybuilding, I didn't even know the wellness category existed. I was looking at, I had no idea what I was talking about. So I was looking at figure, I was looking at like women's physique, and I always knew that I was maybe a bit too large for bikini because with that soccer background, I did have a substantial amount of lower body muscle already. But draw actually was the one that suggested wellness to me. But in terms of training, it's so much fun to me. I love it. I think that my background in soccer, just being pushed until I can't essentially go any further, definitely still lives within me. And just having a coach, having somebody push you to become better than you were the game before, the show before, scoring more goals than you did the season before, that beat yourself, you versus you mentality has always been there. But now this is I mean, obviously I have teammates, I have a coach and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, it's up to me how much work I put in. So it being more of a solo sport, I've kind of had to dig a little bit deeper than I did during soccer because I always did have teammates. I did always have a substitute. Unfortunately, I can't sub out a prep. But I definitely do think that background kind of laid the foundation of the level of discipline and also base level of muscle that I have now.
So me and Eric, like I said, we don't write down questions, but literally you took my freaking question, Eric. I was going to ask her about her soccer background and everything. But in the midst of you talking, you made me think of another question. So you mentioned that you are on a team, but this sport is also solo. And my mindset is the sport is solo also. Like I can't sub Eric in to come do my prep or whatnot. So with you being on a team, but you also saying this sport is solo, and this question is for both of y'all, like where's the line between, hey, this is my thing, this is my prep, I'm doing it alone, or hey, I need to lean on you to get me through this cardio session, or I need to lean on you to get me through this workout? Like, where's the thin line at?
Go ahead.
Well, for me at least, it is a solo sport. Like, you got to do the work. Like, it's your own work. You got to do it. But with teammates like Kendall, when I get to see her in the gym, or if I see her content, or I see her training, or just get a chat with her, like, it helps bring out that work in me. Like, you see how hard she works, that motivates me. And we also, since we're both prepping together, when we do get to talk to each other, we get to relate on things, we get to de-stress with each other, and like just talk about how our preps are going and just playing out together, which helps a lot. You wouldn't think it would, but just talking with your teammates, knowing that they're probably going through the same thing as you are right now, is just very helpful, and it's just comforting to know that you have someone with you. So
Kendall didn't want to answer the question. She said, listen, she said, hey, let me bow out of this one. I'm not answering that.
But yeah, I think teammates has been a really big impact on my bodybuilding experience. Did you get nervous?
No, it kicked me out and then my dog started barking. Stop.
But yeah, what I was saying is that one of the reasons that bodybuilding made my experience has been so good, and I want to push it on to others, was because the teammates that I was introduced to, the people that Gerald had introduced me to. We have group posing sessions. I have girls I can go to and talk to if I need advice, if I want to train, if I want to pose. Like, I have girls that I can go to and just talk to, and I think that has made my journey and my whole bodybuilding experience very, very good.
All right. Thanks for carrying this question on your shoulders. I truly appreciate that.
She said everything I had to say.
What's your perspective?
Ooh, mine?
All of yours.
Me personally, I'm a solo guy. I'm self-motivated. I don't need to lean on anyone else for the motivation to push me through. I chose to get into this sport myself. So me personally, like I'm just a self-motivated guy, and I don't know if that's my military background or what, but I don't need to lean on somebody else to get me through a prep. That's just me personally.
I think I'm similar in the sense, I'm gonna be honest, I hate training with other people. I do not like it. I sometimes will put my headphones in when Draw's training me. I just need the motivation. I need a spot. But I think the gym can be a really peaceful place. Obviously, prep does get dark sometimes. And it's nice to lean on other people, but I enjoy relying on myself because I know I'm going to get it done. I enjoy seeing how hard I can push myself, but just like she was saying, like when we see each other in the gym and when we get to catch up, I didn't realize until my last prep how important that was to me. So I isolated myself a little bit my first 2 preps. But I'm the same in the sense that I'm still doing everything on my own. I'm still meal prepping on my own. I still don't need anybody to help me get it done. But just that kind of emotional connection with my teammates, like other people who are going through similar things, has been nice the past couple preps.
And I guess I'll round this off, man. Y'all do not let Jamal lie to y'all. The year that we both won the Yorton, we talked 3 times a day. When he went and did cardio, I went and did cardio. Like,
but
he is very self. Hey,
you had your turn. You had your turn.
You had your turn. Come on.
You're not my teammate, dog.
So we are not teammates. We're unofficial teammates. Like, we are both super self-motivated. We're gonna get up, go to the gym, do what we gotta do. But it was just one of those things where we unintentionally pushed each other when we both was prepping for that Yorton Cup that year. But I'm the same way. I coach people, and I found out that my team is usually the people where, we de-stress, we talk about a lot of things. And I always say my best clients don't complain to me. They usually complain to my other clients. They just don't tell me they're going through it, but usually they're going through it sometimes. So, but when I'm going through it, I'm going to talk to them. I don't care. I'm going to be like, hey, y'all going to hear this? So, or either Jamal going to hear it. Somebody going to hear it. But that's just how we get through it. But I'm going to move into the next question. So, Lily, there's a background story. I judged your amateur show. Came up to you.
I know, yeah, I remember.
It was just like, yo, your physique is pro ready. You look great, this, and the third. So you won your debut show, and then you went straight to the Yorton and placed top 3 the following year. And this is usually the question I pose to a lot of people who compete and go straight into like a big show and place very well. Was there like an imposter syndrome when you got there and was just like, hey, do I really belong here? Or was it more so like, nah, I made it. This is where I'm supposed to be?
Both, but mostly imposter syndrome for sure. Knowing about the Yorton, I knew it from because Kendall competed in it. So I knew it was a really big show. I did my research on my own as well. Just looked at the girls that won the previous year. Was like, dang, like I don't know if I can hang with them. But also a part of it was being new to the sport. I was like a little bit of overconfidence, I guess, was like, oh yeah, part of me, I can hang with them, and the excitement of like what could happen. But yeah, I just wanted to go full head on with it because seeing people like Kendall, she did this exact same thing. She won her pro card, her first show, went straight to the Yorton. Obviously that's going to inspire other girls like me, and she did very well, and obviously that's going to motivate someone like me to do the same thing. But yeah.
Well, I gotta follow up Jamal real quick, because I saw Kendall smile, so I gotta ask this. So I don't know if y'all saw the meme where it was like,
take my question, I'm gonna be pissed. Just letting you know.
So I don't know if y'all saw the meme where it was all men do is lie, and they're like, have you seen a woman's comment section, right? So after that happened, because they always talk about like there's a whole lot of positivity in the women's comment section. So when she said that she had imposter syndrome, was there like buzz in the camp for all of y'all, like really telling her like, no, you got this, rooting her on, and knowing the landscape of what bikini was? Did y'all like really tell her like, and encourage her to do the Yorton, or was this like a solo decision for you, Lily? So that's kind of for both of you.
This was pretty solo for me. Like,
Okay.
Jarrell never pushes anything. Like, if I want to do something, I'll just tell him. And, like, he always tells me I'm my own adult. Like, I'm a full adult. I can make my own decisions. That was just me. That was all me. Like, I wanted to do it. I told him. He was like, all right, let's make a plan.
We can't hear you.
Oh, I thought it was me again.
No, that was me. So Kendall, so for you as a teammate, and you saw what Bikini Landscape was, did y'all like encourage her the whole way through and like you got this and things of that nature?
I went to her first show. I saw her and I was like, she's placing top 3 at the Yorton. Like one of the hardest workers I know, but also a genetic freak. Like she looks crazy. If she was questioning herself and whether she could do the Yorton, we would have all like backed her and forced her to do it. But she didn't need it.
Thanks.
Okay. So earlier during the segment, Eric brought up the fact there's a rumor mill that the current Yorton Cup champion for wellness is not doing wellness this year, Chaz. And you kind of had, I don't know if it was a smirk or smile or what. I don't know what it was, but and if I can recall, earlier this year after you did the Coastal Clash, I came on this podcast and I said, yo, like, I believe her and Chaz standing next to each other, I think it would be a battle. I really wanted to see that. So hearing this information about how she may no longer be doing wellness, did that give you a boost of self-esteem? Did it change your mindset? Like, what's running through your head when you hear like the current champion isn't going to be doing that category this year?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it.
Fair.
'Cause at the end of the day, like, I can't control who shows up on stage. And I know that's easier said than done. Regardless of what category she does, she is a beast. Like, she looks great. Just looking at her legs, I'm surprised to hear you say that she may not be doing wellness. I don't really think one way or the other, because I know there is somebody else who is probably almost just as impressive and has as much muscle density and mass and conditioning as her that might show up on that day.
Good answer. Great answer.
She's a beast, though. Can't lie.
All right, so this will be my last question before the quick hitters, and this is for you, Kendall. Like I said, our research department got back to me, and in your bio it says grow through what you go through. So if you had to relate that to bodybuilding, what would be that moment that you went through that you grew through?
Related to bodybuilding, that's been my bio on Instagram, like almost since I opened the account. It's always been something that I've believed in and I've stood by, because life is going to throw things at you that suck or that are great. Either way, you have to work through them. So in terms of bodybuilding, I would say the most adversity I have faced, like my first 2 preps, I was a full-time student. Would not recommend, but I was hitting 15 to 20,000 steps a day. I was working full-time. I was going to class. I was getting my cardio and my lifts done. And there's just a point where your brain shuts off and you have to, like, this is a stressful time in your life that you're going to have to grow through. And it made me a better competitor. Do I ever want to do it again? No. Am I grateful that I did it? Yes. And I was going through a lot of things in my personal life as well, that all shaped me into being a better bodybuilder. And if anything, have made this prep feel like a breeze. But that being said, in terms of other things that you go through, prep specifically, like We all get a little bit of body dysmorphia sometimes. We all question ourselves as athletes. And like Lily was saying, like imposter syndrome really is a real thing, especially when you are young in the sport and you're not as experienced as some of the people you're competing up against. I've kind of been blessed both genetically and just like during preps, I haven't maybe had to dig as hard as other people. And that's not how this prep is going. I've had to work a little bit harder and it's still getting done, of course, but you start to kind of question yourself a little bit. And like, if you've made any progress, if you're worth getting on a bodybuilding stage, especially a pro stage, but also how I adapt to these challenges are also showing me how much of a good competitor I am, and how I've been able to grow and adapt to things that Jarrell's throwing at me this prep, because it's definitely been more of a dig so far.
Okay. So I got a question for both of y'all. And I want you to answer first, Kendall. Then I want you to finish off, Lily, because I think it's more important to you, Lily, to finish this off because we just don't see this often in the bikini category. So both of y'all are fairly young to this sport, and I want to say at life. But both of y'all came in here and y'all talk with such maturity, and y'all already have that championship mindset. Where did that come from, Kendall? And for you, Lily, I think you might be one of the youngest women to ever place top 3 at the York. As you said, like the age gap is pretty big. It's usually we see the older women winning the bikini category. So just tell me how you felt, your feelings about that. But you answer it first, Kendall, and then you,
Lily. The question was what built
just your championship mature mindset when it comes to bodybuilding, this sport. Being so young in the sport.
Yeah. I love winning. I love winning in every sense of the word. But a win is not even just like placing at a show or getting a medal, winning money, whatever. It is like I said I was going to do it and I did it. And being able to say, yeah, like I did that. Yeah, of course I have a coach. Of course I have teammates and cardio buddies and all that kind of stuff. But I showed up and I got it done like I said I was going to, and that's a win. I'm so competitive. I probably hate losing more than I love winning, which is something I've worked on, being able to lose with grace. It's hard, but I want to leave no stone unturned. And I don't know if that is a championship mentality or a dog mentality. I don't know, but I love winning and I love working hard. So just always.
And let me rephrase that question, Lily. You're going against seasoned bikini competitors. The seasoned bikini competitors typically win the Jordan Cup. I don't want
you about to get ate up, boy.
For me, I think I didn't play any sports growing up. Like I didn't know what it felt like to be super competitive until I started this sport 2 years ago. So actually feeling that what it's like to be super competitive really, I think, is what brought me to where I am today. Also, I think it's important that with this competitiveness that I've learned in myself, that I want to be that young person that's up there with the older people, the seasoned, the seasoned competitors. Like, I want to be looked at. I want to be like, when I'm on stage, I want all the judges and everyone else, their eyes on me. I think that just coming to the sport and just feeling that level of sports competitiveness really just changed me in general, not just for the sport, but just my confidence and how I want to be perceived, how I want to display myself. Also, bikini is just like, how are you perceived? I want to be perceived as a winner, competitive, and just that girl that's up there with the other ones. But a lot of the maturity is also who I'm surrounded by, the coach that I am being coached by. I think who you're coached by is super important as well. Gerald has taught me a lot about what it's like being a competitor, him himself, and how he as a competitor as well is a really good person to look up to, and how I want to be as a competitor too, backstage, up on stage, and just mentality wise. So just coming into the sport, that newfound competitiveness and confidence that it brought me, and then who I'm surrounded by, has really brought me who I am today, off stage and on stage.
All right, so I could go into the quick hitters, Jamal.
Let's do it.
All right. So these will be short and sweet answers off the top of your head. The last one may be short answer. You know, we give multiple choice. There will be no multiple choice on this test. So quick hitters. So like I said, I lived in Greensboro for a very long time, so I'm very familiar. So I'm gonna see if y'all are up on game with the area. What is the best breakfast spot in Greensboro, North Carolina?
I don't think I've tried it yet.
Uh-oh.
For real. If you're talking like
they just opened a place. I've been prepping all year, so I can't go. What's it, Dad's? I haven't gone yet. I know for a fact that it's going to be better than any other breakfast place. I haven't tried it yet, though.
Which ones are y'all talking about? I just need an answer. What is your favorite breakfast spot that you've been to in Greensboro?
You said the best.
If my favorite is Scramble. I'm at Scramble.
I like First Watch, but I know that's basic.
Herbie's, you can't go wrong with Herbie's.
Okay, Kirby, Scrambled, and First Watch. First Watch is fine. It's just corporate. All right.
There's one called Strawberry. It's like Strawberry House or something on that.
There's a MIAM breakfast house. I think that may be in High Point, but Greensboro, the Triad.
Okay. So favorite leg exercise.
I hate it, but I love it. But it grew my legs. The pendulum squat.
Favorite? I mean, hack squat is pretty fun. Walk-in lunges.
Okay.
I'm crazy.
We're gonna put one of your hack squat videos attached to that, just so people can see what's going on. All right, your favorite dessert. I know y'all are on prep, so I know y'all know what dessert y'all like. Favorite dessert?
Cheesecake.
Just cake. Ice cream, cake. Cake with ice cream.
Kendall carbs are a little bit lower than Lily's right now.
Yeah, literally just brownies, cake, ice cream.
Anything
together. All three together.
All right, so y'all both spoke about Gerald. I actually know Gerald for a very long time, so this will be more of a short answer. Name your top favorite coach moment. Like, if you had a moment that was hilarious, a moment that you was just like, yo, get out my face, but it was still like PG. Your favorite coach's moment right here.
For me was, we both didn't really know, or we were open to like what was going to happen at the URN. Still, I think it was a shock when I got my placing. A good shock at my placing for the URN. And I remember when I was waiting backstage after I had just got my placing, and I was waiting to like take my test or everything, and he came backstage and he was like, oh, I'm about to cry, like, or something. He was very emotional, and I don't really see him like that. And I think just knowing that he was proud, I was proud, we were both happy, and everything worked out in the end. I think those moments, same thing with my first show too. It was the same way. Like, I think those moments were a core memory.
Yeah, being at shows with him, not even specifically him watching me or coaching me at a show. One, you can hear him, he's so loud. But just watching the amount of support and love that he pours into his athletes during shows, backstage, he's like dripping sweat, running back and forth. And like he yells so loud, sometimes it's a little bit embarrassing. But it is, you can tell he's really passionate about it, and he wants it almost as bad as we do, like our own success. But my absolute favorite thing is hearing him train on leg day. So the way that he talks to himself, he's a bit mean to himself, but I also think we see a lot of coaches nowadays who, I mean, they're a good coach. They coach well, but they don't often practice what they preach. And he is somebody that, yeah, prep gets dark, but he would never lead you anywhere he's never been. And he is the example that all of his athletes strive to be like. Like, I strive to be like my coach because he is always the hardest worker in the room, unless me and Lily are there. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100% with all of that.
All right, last and final question, and then I'll let Jamal take us out. So, both of you spoke on a winning mentality, or going to be known for is winning. We don't want to jinx it here. So, other than winning a Yorton Cup, because I always tell people that the Yorton Cup is never in our hands. We can only work as hard as we can, but then it's always outside of our, we can't really judge the show and give ourselves first place. It's not possible. So I always tell my athletes to set goals and set what winning looks like outside of being placed first. So what does a win this season looks like for you?
That's hard. Because those first two seasons, set up the expectations like super high. So it's hard to like not want to do better than what you did the last time. But as long as I get to the finish line, come with a better package than I did last year, even if I don't place as well, but if I came with a better package, that's all that matters. And I got through it. That's all that matters too.
Yeah, same thing, beating the last package that I brought, but also like you get another really cool experience under your belt as a bodybuilder. Every time you're on stage, you get better. So yes, I did bring a better package to each show day, but exposure to judges, posing in front of a crowd, getting on stage, the lead up, peak week, you get better at executing your protocol every single time. And so a win for me is just to get up there and feel more confident in myself and how things are going than I did last show.
I'm gonna end with this, and I think us as bodybuilders, we all say this, and it's ironic because y'all two just said it, and I know we all say it as bodybuilders, we want to beat our last package. But the ultimate goal, you're going to the Yorton Cup, is to win the Yorton Cup. So if we don't win, or if we don't get the placing we don't want or whatever, we still going to get disappointed. The emotions are still going to be there, even if we brought a better package than we did before. So is that something we just say to make ourselves feel better in the moment? Like when we're talking to somebody, like, I just want to bring a better package than I did last year. Because like I said, I think we all say it. But is that really true? Like, can we really say, hey, if I brought a better package than I did last year, that's a win for me?
I think it's human nature to be disappointed when you lose, especially in such a competitive sport, and you're essentially going up there, and if you lose, somebody is saying that somebody else looked better than you, and that sucks.
Right.
But I feel like that's the bare minimum. And if you're not upset by losing as a competitor, why are you competing? So I think there is a level of sportsmanship that goes into this where your humility and your sportsmanship has to be bigger than your ego. And also, like, growing up an athlete, like, you're expected to win, you're expected to lose, but you're always expected to go out there and work your butt off. And if not, you don't play. So I think in the same way that I would go watch film, rewatch games, training videos, stuff like that to improve. It's the same way I look at my picture from last year. I don't like the way it looks. I look at my pictures from this year and I feel a lot better about it. Like, dang, I really did that. So in that sense, like, it is a win. When you know there's something to improve. And with this sport, it takes so much time to improve it. It does feel like a win. But obviously I don't like losing. So I also would like to win in terms of placing as well.
Right. And that's the one thing about this sport. For me, I can say I know I'm the hardest worker. When I wake up at fucking 2:30 and go to the gym, I know, and my heart's of hearts, I don't believe anybody else is working as hard as I am when I go to the gym. But sometimes, like, as hard as you work in the gym doesn't translate to you. What did you say?
Because there ain't nobody in there at 2:30. You're the first in the gym.
Okay, you got me. You got me. But as hard as we work in the gym, sometimes our hard work don't translate to the stage. Like, the judges don't care if I go in the gym and lift fucking 405 pounds. Like, they don't care. You get what I'm saying? So that's something to be mindful of too.
I was gonna add to that. I was about to say, because I know Kendall used the word. She's just like, there's some humility in it, knowing that. I mean, we talked about this on this podcast plenty of times. The hardest worker don't always win. The most disciplined doesn't always win. Like, there's some genetic freaks. We said it on this podcast that we have never prepped at 100%. People hate to hear that, but we have beaten a lot of people not being 100%. So the thing is, when it comes to being better than myself, like, and this is just speaking for me, if I beat my last physique, I do tend to place higher. That's just a given because I know the work that I put in, but it isn't always that way. Because I know somebody who's been 100% on plan, did everything right, and their genetics just ain't as good as mine. So I think it comes with, like you said, the goal is always to win. I think we stated that on this show as well. Like, we show up to every show to win. We never say we're going to win because we don't control that. But there is a feeling of, like, piggybacking on what Kendall said, like, there's literally 7 people that just said, nah, this person look better than you. Nah, they don't. Like, not to me, they don't, you know? But to y'all, they do. So it is what it is. But going back to look at it, like, all we can really do is, like you said, deal with those emotions however way we can, but then also go back and compare and be like, well, I killed my last loop. It wasn't good enough today, but maybe it'd be good enough next Saturday or even next year. And that's just the kind of twisted mentality we got to have as bodybuilders. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to end the show, but yeah.
But you just did there, buddy. I appreciate you.
But ladies, can y'all please tell them where to find you? If you want them to find you on social media, you can share, so people can follow you on your journey to the Yorton Cup.
My Instagram is at strawberry buff cake.
Why y'all laugh? That's so messed up.
Yeah, bro. Y'all follow me. Y'all already knew that.
Well, because mine's just my name. Kendall France. No A in France. So it's not cool like strawberry buff cake.
Well, we truly appreciate both of y'all joining us. And good luck with y'all 7 weeks out from the Yorton Cup. So push through for the next 7 weeks. We know it sucks. Y'all know it sucks. Y'all both been there before. But keep pushing through, and we'll be rooting for you guys for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
And with that,
that was fun.
And with that, y'all, we will catch you guys next week. Remember, you want to tune in for all of these episodes coming in August up until the Yorton Cup. But until next time, y'all.